Interrupted somebody's nap and she's less than pleased with my presence. You would think it wasn't my bench. Okay, day 21 Advents for Sweet Sparrow. There's this lovely blush color, which is called Vintage Bouquet, and it has these really beautiful specks of a maroon and some taupes. There's a little bit of yellow in there and a little bit of green, you know, just colors that you would find in your dried flowers or in your bouquets that were left over. And that came with a peppermint. This one from Lambstring Spooky Advent is called By the Chimney with Scare. It's this beautiful brick red color with some yellow running through it. That's really gorgeous. And then my Nightmare Before Christmas swap color is Oogie Boogie Blacklight. And it's this really, it's not quite as electric blue as it's showing up. It's got a little bit more, wow, that's a really big difference. It's a little bit more of a purple tone, actually. I don't know why it's, that might be slightly better. I don't know why my camera has decided that it's not going to show you what color that is. And that's what we got for day 21.
Vlogmas, and this is the 21st day of Christmas, and it is about to be Christmas in 4 more days.
Yeah, it is. It is. Happy 21st day of Vlogmas. It is Monday. Yeah. We are out to run some errands. We got grocery pickup for the holiday week. I have a last minute piece of a gift that I have to buy for my Secret Santa. We have a large family. We do Secret Santas for the adults, and then everybody buys for the kids. We are all present and accounted for. Say hi, Becky. And we are moving on. So yeah, Hector has a really cool Transformer toy. His name is Optimus. Okay, this is not a Transformer channel. He will transform every and all Transformers that he owns for you on camera with detailed instructions if you will let him. So if that's something you feel like you need, you can say so, and I'll put it at the end of one of the videos. But until it's requested, I'm gonna spare you your engineering lesson for the day. We are on our way out. We will be out for a very short amount of time. We think we are going to pop down to Trader Joe's down on our side of town. We've never been to it, and they have a soup mix that I am extremely fond of that I would kind of like to buy so that we can have that next week. Yeah, so we did all of the holiday grocery shopping in this order that we're going to pick up right now. I think we're going to do pot roast for Christmas dinner, because it's just us and it's a family fave and it's super, super easy. And this one can cook it and I don't have to. Yes. So yeah, what do you guys do for Christmas dinner and tradition and stuff? Are you getting to do that this year, or are you finding yourself with too much food because of cancellations? What happened in the UK is really crappy. That sucks, you guys. Not so much that people can't get together. I think it sucks the way that it was delivered. Like, I don't know, y'all. We've been doing this for 9 months and the COVID cases have been rising. So it's not like we didn't know that it was a bad idea to allow travel over Christmas. And I feel like they could have said something sooner than 5 days prior. It's a personal opinion. That's just me. So yeah, I guess I'll check in with you guys a little later. So it is substantially later. I was looking for my phone to tell what time it was. I record on my phone. It's right here. It's not that late, and I haven't had an adult beverage yet, so I don't know why I'm this far off. It is evening, 7:30 maybe. It can't be 8 o'clock yet. It's like 7. I broke a nail. You guys, look at this. Like you care. I broke a nail. I snapped a nail off, and I legitimately don't know how I did that. Maybe I should just edit this out and start over. That's not fun. Anyway, that makes me mad. Like, why can't it be this one that broke off? Like, look how super long that thing is. Like, look at these two. Whatever. Anyway, you don't care. This is not a nail podcast, I promise. So, it's later. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. We went to Trader Joe's today so I could pick up. They have a mushroom and rice soup mix. If you are a Trader Joe's fan, you should go to your Trader Joe's and find it. It comes in a bag and it is so good. And we went to Trader Joe's and they don't have it. And I got to tell you guys honestly, I'm all up in here like teary-eyed. This has nothing to do with mushroom soup, but I did almost cry. I was so disappointed. We have like 4 Trader Joe's in Houston, but this is the one that's the closest to me, and it's new and it's big, and it's not huge, but it's bigger than the one that I found the mushroom soup at. And they didn't have any of the same fun snacky things that the other location had. So like last location, I found some peppermint marshmallows that are covered in dark chocolate, and they taste for all the world, like a York peppermint patty and a marshmallow, and they're so good, and I have one left. So I kind of wanted some more of those, but they didn't have them. So is that something that I don't shop at Trader Joe's very often? This is like my second or third time. So is that something about them? Like, do they change stock super fast? Are they like Home Goods? You find something you like and then you fall in love with it and then you'll never see it again and they rip your heart out? Let me know. Let me know so I don't get my hopes up next time. Or so that I immediately send somebody to go buy 5 of the one thing that I liked that one time. Anyway, we popped in, and instead of that, I bought some triple ginger cookies. So they have pureed ginger and ground ginger and crystallized ginger, which is one of my absolute favorite things. Every time that we go to our local Home Goods, they have bags of candy. I think they're called Chimes, but they're ginger chews basically, and I love that my husband hates them, which is fantastic because that means I get to eat them, not everybody else, which is a novelty when you're a parent, I have discovered. So they're the one thing that I can guarantee that still only I like. But that's what they remind me of, the crystallized ginger inside them. They're so good. Oh my god. What else did we get? We got a couple of other things I can't think of right now. I picked up some mushrooms for pot roast, since that's what we're doing for Christmas, apparently. Speaking of Christmas, we're having the big Christmas discussion in group chat of what we're going to do for gift exchanges. My husband has a relatively large family, so we do a Secret Santa where each of us adults chooses a name out of a hat, so it's super secretive. And then we buy one gift for every adult. And then, of course, you buy for your significant other or whatever. Everybody buys for the kids. So all the kids get a present from every one of us, But for adults, you're only... my husband has 4 siblings and then his parents. That's a lot of money, Not just for us, but for, the other siblings as well. And then there are four nieces and nephews. So... if you were to buy a present for everybody involved in this family, you would have 7 adults, 11 with the kids, and then me and Lewis are the in-laws. So yeah, you're looking at between 13 and 15 people, depending on if somebody is dating somebody at the time, or somebody's dating somebody at the time. So we had 13 people. So 13 times $20 or $30, and that's a lot of money. So we simplify it by saying that there is a $30 limit for Secret Santa, one gift for the adult that you chose out of your hat, and then the 4 kids. And everybody's, everybody's under 10, so you're in the $20 range for that. So, it's still, it max $20. Please don't pay $20. If you can buy my son a gift and get it with a coupon and an on sale thing and pay $2.50, like, please put that receipt in there so that I can high five you afterward, because that's cool. But we just do it to keep down costs. Anyway, so we have Secret Santa, so we are trying to figure out how we're going to swap gifts because pandemic. And that conversation is taking a little bit longer than it really needs to, but we're, one of the ideas was to kind of do the gift drop-off, like drop off and swap, and then Zoom each other on Christmas Eve so that we could all see each other open presents and stuff, and there are a couple people who are really into that, and then there's a couple people who really don't like the idea and they want to get together, but we're not doing the get together thing because of the pandemic. It's like, all right, well, compromise. What could we do? We could get together outside, I guess, but you have to keep the kids away from each other. Like, I don't know how you're going to do that. So we're just trying to work out details and stuff. And we have one, a couple of family members, no, I don't want to do the outside thing. That doesn't, it's going to rain or... Yeah, there's so many voices. Trying to coordinate anything is a nightmare. So I'm letting my husband deal with that. He's on the phone right now. I'm letting him deal with that, and he can just tell me what happens, I guess. So, we went to a liquor store and we picked up an order that we placed. They just one of our local liquor stores allows you to call ahead in order and then just pick it up. And so we did that, and I got some vodka and some Kahlua for vanilla espresso martinis from Half Baked Harvest. Check out Tieghan's feed. If you don't follow Half Baked Harvest, I really recommend it. Tieghan has on her website right now, she has her full spread for what her 2020 holiday meals are going to look like, and she has a ton of cocktail options. And her cocktails are super, super simple, really flavorful, big crowd pleasers, and most of them have a non-alcoholic option, so that if you're not into the alcohol thing, you can usually just have whatever it is and it just tastes good. I also really like Tieghan's cocktail options because the majority of the time that something has cream, or dairy, she will substitute coconut milk just because she likes the flavor better. And me and dairy don't get along in a great capacity. I can do cheese and I can do ice cream on occasion, and that's fine. But like drinking milk or heavy cream, cannot do it. Absolutely cannot do it. It just makes me nauseous. It's terrible. I never used to be this way. Turning 30 sucks. Anyway, so we picked up some vodka and some Kahlua for that. I got a bottle of wine for the pot roast. And then I just got a Malbec. I got a nice red for the pot roast. And then we have scotch already here at the house, so anybody wants a nightcap, we have everything that we need. I just wanted a fun cocktail this year. I don't normally drink cocktails. I'm not really a mixed drink kind of person. Definitely not a vodka person for the most part. But I kind of wanted something different, just something kind of fun. And to be honest, there's a restaurant near us. It's a South African restaurant, and they do a drink called the South African Gentleman that is basically coffee liqueur, it's espresso liqueur and vodka maybe, and whiskey. I don't remember what kind of whiskey it is. I don't know if it's scotch, or I'm sure it's not scotch. Most scotch, you don't really mix scotch. That's kind of the point of buying scotch, right? But we have some regular whiskey that we were gifted that we don't drink very often that I think would be fine for that, for a cocktail. I just wanted something different, something kind of pick up the holiday spirit, I suppose. So we did that. And like I said, we picked up our grocery order from Kroger, and then we picked up our liquor order, and then we went down to Trader Joe's, and there is no curbside for Trader Joe's where we're at, so we had to go in. And I mean, hooray for Trader Joe's. Like, can I tell you that is the best customer service that I've ever had in a grocery store. So kind of wish that there was one a little bit closer so we could go to it more often. But we did that, and then we came home, and we had our local grocery store in Texas. We have a thing called H-E-B. that has apparently been voted the best grocery store in the nation, but it's only available in Texas, which means that Texans unanimously called it the best grocery store in the nation. But they do like in-house sausages and that kind of stuff, and they have a cheddar and poblano stuffed chicken sausage that's really, really, really nice. And so we bought some of those. We buy those all the time. I always have a pack in the freezer for days that I just do not want to cook. And I cheat. So anybody who's ever doing sausages or something, and you know, there's always a mess, right? Because you have to heat them over on the stove. Well, here's what I do. I take my cast iron skillet and I put the sausages in the skillet, and then I put a little bit of olive oil over the top of them, salt and pepper if you want to, okay? And I preheat my oven to 400. And then I put my pan with my sausages in my 400-degree oven, and yeah, leave it alone for 15 minutes or so, and it would take 15 minutes maybe to cook, and that's it. And it keeps all the mess. I mean, yeah, it makes a mess in the oven, but I have a self-cleaning oven, so I don't care. And they don't spatter too much. Like, just keep your oil level down. You know, I think the worst part about them, frankly, for me, the worst part about them is that they have cheese in them. So they do the, so like if they split or something. But I don't normally have a big mess with them. So I think that's fantastic. So I did that, and I did a Puerto Rican style rice, and I did some black beans. And that was dinner, and it was super cozy, and my rice turned out great. I'm super happy about it today. I've been having trouble with water levels and rice. I don't really know why. I never used to. I went for years of being able to make great rice, and then all of a sudden, the last 6 months or so, I was like, I can't get it right. Stress. It's pandemic. That's why. Rice doesn't cook it the same way in a pandemic. My niece's my niece's Christmas gift got here today, so that is done. All gifts are home and accounted for, except the one that my husband bought me. He hasn't even gotten a shipping notification or like an order confirmation, I don't think. I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't know what it is. I don't know where he ordered it from. I just think it's really funny. So, I guess I'll get a surprise in January. See if it shows up before my birthday or after my birthday. Who knows? For anybody who's, well, I mean, for all of you, my birthday is January 24th. So I squirrel away an advent calendar for my birthday so that I can have something to open during January. My mental health struggles a lot in the mid-January area, or like into February sometimes. And so I did this last year where I just wasn't feeling Christmas at all. And I had 2 advent calendars, and I opened one of them. And I kind of forgot about the second one, to be honest. And then I found it like the 2nd or 3rd of January, and I opened it, and it was Christmas themes. It was from O Loops. And I was so excited about their calendar this year. And then they said they were going to close their doors and they weren't going to die anymore. And I was really, really disappointed. But I did it last year for my birthday. I used my O Loops advent calendar as my birthday advent, because the 24th, right? So then I get one thing a day, and then on my birthday I get a thing and a full skein, and it was great. And it was so nice. It really helped make, I don't know, helped make the month bearable, I guess. So I did that, and I'm gonna do that again this year because I can. And yeah, I don't remember. Oh yeah, so we'll see if my husband's gift gets here before my advent calendar runs out. My husband, I like to play games, and he does not enjoy video games at all. I don't like all of them, but I like a few. And I like enough that I would like a PS5. I would like a PS5 because the PlayStation only does everything. So it would be great to be able to give my son my PS4, because he's coming into that age where he likes to play video games too. And, you know, the graphics are better on the 4, so obviously he likes the 4 better. And it runs more smoothly when it comes to Netflix and Vudu and YouTube and all of these things that my kid likes to use. So I would like to put that one in his room, and I would like a 5 for our TV because my husband really, really, really likes movies. And the PS5 plays 4K. Now, the only reason that I got the PS4 was because I thought it played 4K, but it doesn't. Only one version of it did, and I wasn't willing to spend another $150 just to have that. And my husband was fine with that. So now the 5 is going to play 4K. and there are a couple of games that PlayStation puts out that I'm really excited about that are coming out on the 5, like in the spring. Like, I'm not interested in it right now. It's not going to do me any good right now. But, you know, my husband is I found out what I wanted, so now let me go get it. And of course, because I don't know if any of you have gamers in your family, and I'm sure if you do that you know all about it. The PS5 is, you can't get it. It's just absolutely untraceable. Nobody can get it. Part of that is pandemic and COVID affecting supply chains and shipments. And the other part of it is these people who have created bots who are buying like 2,000 of these systems at one time, and they're sold out in the first minute. And then they turn around and now they're scalpers and they put them on eBay and they sell them for all this extra money or something. Apparently there was some sort of like a UK company that got busted for it, and they did like 1,500 systems or some nonsense like that. There was some guy who got pegged for trying to sell a PS5 for $3,000 on eBay. So that's going to bring in new... that's going to create some jobs, because you're going to have to find somebody who can create a program or an algorithm to stop the bot, you know, and to only verify sales to actual people. So that's been really frustrating. Our local GameStop has had them a few times, but they're you have to come in and get them, and I'm not willing to camp out over a video game console. Like, that's just not, one, that's not who I am. I'm just not that bothered. Two, it's pandemic and I don't want to go stand in line. And have you been to a GameStop? They're the size of shoe closets. So that is not a big deal. My husband is making it a big deal, and it's really frustrating. It's kind of like, would you please just leave it alone? It's really not important. It's okay. You can get me one in like May. Get me one in May. That's when I want it. My birthday is in January. Our anniversary is in October. I need something in the summer. Okay, just get me one in the summer. It'll be fun. And so anyway, so that's been kind of the running joke around here, is that nobody can get anything that they want. I kind of made a comment about wanting an espresso machine, and so he got online to look at an espresso machine, and one of the ones that I kind of pointed him at is sold out at Best Buy, and you can't get it. So he threw his hands up. Everybody's like, the whole year is sold out. So anyway, I don't know what all that was about. That was just for me to tell you, I guess. Yeah, that's about it. We are taking the week off from school. We are in the middle of a book, though. So my deal with my son is that we can take this week off from school, because we'll take next week off probably too. We always take off around Christmas. You know, the schools do it, and because whenever we usually spend time with family, the girls are out of school. I have... Don't tell anybody I had to do this. I have three nieces. And all of them are public school. And so holidays, you know, Hector's school schedule ends up kind of running off of theirs, because we spend quite a bit of time with family. Well, this year, obviously, we're not seeing them, but it's still holidays, you know, and, so we are going to, oh yeah, so he won't really have a whole lot of school, but like I said, we're in the middle of a book right now, and I don't want him to come back. I'm not going to be able to have him come back in 2.5 weeks and then, like, talk about this book and him have any idea what we were talking about. So the deal was that we have 2 books going on right now. One is called A Long Way to the New Land, and it's a story about Swedish immigrants coming to America. And that's really short. That's one of those I can read books that you can find at the bookstore for your kid. It's like a level 4 or something like that, level 3. And then the other one is called A Cricket in Times Square, which he's super interested in right now, because we went to New York City a couple times last year, and he likes animals, and he likes that story a lot. That one's a lot of fun. And so we're finishing up that one, and then, yeah, we will be good, and we will take some time off. So we should be done with both of those by Wednesday, I think. And, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are like me. When I watch Vlogmas every day, I come in and I sit down to watch my Vlogmas or to sit down to knit or whatever it is that I'm going to do. And I get to my computer and I open up my subscriptions tab on my YouTube and I go through and I find all the screens with Vlogmases and I click the little clock in the corner. So you see your thumbnail and then in the right hand corner it has a little clock. If you click that, it puts it onto a watch later playlist. And then on your left side toolbar at the top, it'll say subscriptions or it'll say whatever. Well, it'll say library and then it'll say watch later. And that's what I do. I make a playlist and then I just watch all of my Vlogmases at one time. So I don't interact with them as much as I probably should. Like if it was a podcast, I would probably make an effort to sit down and like leave a comment or a like or something like that because, you know, it's an hour of my time that I spent and I want the person to know that I enjoyed it. But for Vlogmas, I kind of just let them all scroll and I kind of feel bad about it. And the only person who ever reminds me of it is Hannah from the Corner of Craft. And she always wants you to she always asks you a question about your day. Wants you to do the daily check-in and tell her what the weather was like or what you did or what you accomplished or how you feel about things. And so in case I've never done that, because I'm not that person, I don't really do this. But I really would love to hear what your weather is like and what you're working on and where you're at and how you're feeling about it. And if you had plans or have plans or think that the isolation of pandemic has been fantastic for you, or are you really struggling? Like, I would really love to know these things. And I know that people feel a little weird about just talking about yourself in the comment section. Please don't. Please don't. I would love to hear it. That would be fantastic. I started the podcast because I wanted some community because I'm prior service military and I grew up military. So I always end up on the other side of the country from all of my friends. And it's the same here in Houston. I have, my husband's family is here, but I don't have any family here. And I have a couple of friends that I see on rare occasion. Or, you know, regular occasion when it can be coffee or something, you know, but it's not, I don't really have a knit group here. Like, there are a few shops around me. The one that I would probably go to is, no, they're all over 35 minutes away from me, you know, and that's not really that far when you live in a city like I do. But to turn around and, I don't know, bolt down dinner and then, you know, usually my husband works like 10 or 12 hours a day. So for me to be like, bolt down dinner or make dinner or whatever, and then ditch him and my son on a weeknight to go to a knit night, it's, I don't know. I'm not trying to be nasty about it, but I just really like my husband. So I would rather hang out with him than drive, you know, halfway across Houston to sit at a table. And I've met perfectly pleasant people at knit night, but if I'm gonna, I don't know, that's not something I always want to do. You know, something I find about knit nights, and I think it depends on your group as well. Something I find about knit nights is there's a lot of small talk, and I really suck at small talk. I am really good at the bare your soul, did I say too much kind of conversation. I'm really not very good at conversation of like the get to know you variety or the politely spend time with you variety. I'm not very good at those types of conversation. Which means my personality is not palatable to everybody, which is fine. That doesn't bug me at all. But you know, all of those factors, you know, and you have to drive home by yourself. And like I said, it's not far, but all of those factors just kind of mean that I don't really seek out like a knit night or anything. I tried whenever I first moved here. And maybe I'll try again next year or something. You know, maybe it'll have been enough time to go by that maybe something's changed. But if I'm going to spend 35 minutes in traffic or, you know, stop and go, because, you know, it's not highway driving or anything. It's, you know, it's stoplights and stuff. So if I'm going to spend 35 minutes one way to go sit at a yarn shop to do a knit night, I really would love it to be with people that I really want to see. And I haven't found that yet. So I started the podcast so that I could just reach more people that I could just reach out to. It's nice to have the ability to sit and talk and have people communicate with you and respond to you. And I know that a lot of podcasters try to be as palatable as possible or as neutral as possible. And if any of you have ever watched my podcast, you'll find that I am not concerned about that at all. It has always been a way for me to reach out and see if there's something that I could contribute to this community or to this world, or to hear different people. But it has never been, I don't sell anything. I don't have a business that relies on my followers. I don't have a platform that relies on you to like me. So I'm very, very much able to be candid and to, to speak with candor. And I try my level best to at least be honest if I can't be palatable. So, anyway, I hope that you like what you see and that you guys plan on sticking around. I have quite a few more followers because of Vlogmas, and that's really great. And I'm really, really happy that you guys are here. But I would love to hear about you. Either you can tell me how you found me, you can tell me what you're making, you can tell me the project that has made you the maddest in your time as a crafter. Do you knit only? Do you crochet? I do both. So I'm not as good at crochet. I've been doing it longer, but I'm not as creative with my crochet as I am with my knitting. And I think that that's funny, isn't it? Like, we all kind of tend to gravitate to one thing. I bought an embroidery pack this past year, and I keep meaning to pick it up, but I've had commissions on the needles, and so I haven't had time to play, which is something that I am hoping to do this next month. Other than that, I don't really do any other craftings, I guess. I really enjoy fiber crafts, so, and I'm not very good at drawing. So I feel like you kind of have to be in one of those camps, either you're like drawing and painting artistic or you're fiber artistic, or I was thinking, because I have been knitting garments, I tend to knit so many garments, I would really like to create my own garment pattern. I don't know that I'll ever release it, but I just want to see if I can do it. Just for fun. So I think that that's kind of a, I don't know, not a make nine, not a goal or anything for 2021, but it would be something that I would be interested in pursuing, I think, this year. A little bit more a little bit more pursuing words. Maybe I'll take diction lessons while I'm at it. This an accomplishment I would like to pursue a little bit more this year than I have previously. So yeah, I am rocking along on this sleeve. I have made nowhere near the amount of progress that I was talking about I would. I'm over there talking yesterday like I'm gonna finish the ripping and half of a sleeve, and you guys, that bind off took me forever. I use a sewn tubular bind off. If you do a 1x1 rib on the bottom of anything, and you need to, or the top, whatever, and you need to bind it off, I highly, highly, highly recommend a sewn tubular bind off. Now, I will absolutely normally send you to Very Pink Knits because, she only teaches you everything. But my favorite tutorial for the sewn tubular bind off is actually from Kalura Hudson, who is a very prolific pattern designer. If you don't know who she is, you should look her up. She's amazing. But her business name is While They Play Knits. And she has a YouTube channel for the cast on and bind off for tubular. And it just made everything so much clearer. And hers is the one that I use, and I love it. And because of her, I don't even remember what I knit. I knit something for her as a test, and it had the bind off in it. A pair of mitts, I think. A pair of mittens. And the bracken mitts. And it had the tutorials in the pattern for that. And I loved it. It was great. And I use it now every time. So all of my sweaters will have a sewn tubular bind off. They will sometimes have the tubular cast on. It just depends. It depends on the sweater and like what it's doing and where it's going. But the bind off is, it's absolutely without fail going to be there. And it's really changed the finishing on my garments. I've gotten a lot of compliments from that, from people over that. So that's a handy little tip to elevate your knitwear, if indeed you feel like you would like to. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here, and I will keep working on this sleeve, and then I will talk to you tomorrow.